Welcome back, everyone. Before we dive in, make sure you drop your thoughts and the lessons you took from this story in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. My name is Brianna Carter, and for most of my adult life, my story looked picture perfect from the outside. At 41, I'd made tenure as a professor in business administration at Howard University in Washington, D.C., the youngest Black woman in my department. My husband, Malik, was a partner at a respected law firm downtown. After 16 years together, 15 married, our lives hummed to a steady rhythm. Summer barbecues in our Northeast DC backyard, long walks with our rescue dog, quiet Sunday mornings at Metropolitan AM, winter getaways to family in Atlanta. Friends envied the way we moved in sync at dinner parties, how we finished each other's sentences. I believed in that image. Sometimes more than I believed in what happened behind closed doors. But there were cracks beneath the surface. Malik had grown distant. His hugs were getting shorter. His laugh, less warm. His late nights at the office piled up like unspoken words. I convinced myself it was the stress of big cases, the exhaustion of city life, maybe the strain of trying to build generational wealth. But that Thursday night, everything shifted. Malik was in the shower, his deep baritone humming over the sound of water pounding tile. I sat in our bedroom grading midterm papers when his phone buzzed on the dresser. For years, I never once peeked. Trust was sacred, the foundation we built on. But a cold, heavy sense crept up my spine. The screen glowed, a message previewed. Simple as an invoice. Table for two at the Griot confirmed. Friday 8 p.m. window, as you like. She always loves that view. My heart snagged. The Griot was the most exclusive restaurant in all of D.C. Malik and I had talked about going for our anniversary, but always put it off. We'd never set foot in the place. Now, apparently, someone else was getting our table. Our view. I told myself not to look further, but my hands moved faster than my mind. The phone was still unlocked from his music playlist. I scrolled past group chats and work emails. There it was. A year's worth of messages, photos, and little hearts between Malik and a woman named Simone Ellis. I recognized her name. She was a public relations manager at Malik's firm, the one who wore bold colors and hoop earrings and always laughed too loudly at company picnics. I saw photos. Simone and Malik in matching t-shirts at a Nationals game, sipping rum punch on a rooftop in Anacostia, standing close on the steps of the Supreme Court. Text spilled over the screen. Missed you last night. That blue dress drives me crazy, counting the hours. I froze. The world shrank around me. The sound of the shower became suddenly distant and hollow. Everything I thought I knew about us buckled under the weight of those words. When Malik stepped out, steam trailing him, he didn't notice my trembling hands. "You see my black tie?" he asked, casual as ever. "Top drawer," I said, voice flat. That night, I lay in bed beside him, pretending to scroll through my phone, my body rigid, my mind replaying each message. How many times had I blamed his detachment on work? How often had I silenced my gut? I felt both numb and volcanic, every memory now laced with suspicion. At sunrise, I packed Malik's favorite breakfast, avocado toast, turkey bacon, strong coffee, and handed it to him like it was any other Friday. "Big presentation today?" I asked, watching his face for any sign of guilt. "Yeah, for a new client," he said, distracted, kissing my cheek. I watched him leave, the door closing with a soft click behind him. As soon as he was gone, I called the university's HR. "I need 3 days," I said, my voice surprisingly steady. "Family emergency." Then I sat at the kitchen table, staring into a mug that grew cold and heavy in my hands, feeling every minute of the last 16 years settle into my bones. I didn't know what I wanted. Revenge? Answers? Closure? I just knew I couldn't let this go unaddressed. If Malik wanted to take Simone to the Griot, he'd have company. I pulled out my laptop and searched. Simone Ellis. Her LinkedIn profile was immaculate, power grade, Delta Sigma Theta, proud dog mom. Then I searched deeper. An Instagram-tagged photo revealed her partner, Andre Ellis, a software architect with a winning smile. Their 5-year wedding anniversary post was filled with hearts and congratulations from family. I stared at that post, imagining the shock he'd feel if he knew. I had no idea how to tell him. Couldn't just call and blow up his life. But I was good at invitations. That afternoon, I emailed Andre using my university credentials. I'd seen on LinkedIn that he'd spoken at local panels about Black entrepreneurship. Mr. Ellis, my name is Dr. Brianna Carter from Howard University. We're planning a discussion on Black excellence in tech, and your work caught my eye. Would you consider meeting to discuss a possible collaboration? I've reserved a table at the Griot this Friday at 8 p.m. for a private conversation. Let me know if you're available. I hit send and waited, the clock ticking slow. By 6 p.m., he replied, Dr. Carter, thank you. Honor to join you. Friday at 8 works great. My pulse thundered as I read his message. The next step, a call to the Griot. Good evening, this is Brianna Carter. I'd like a table for 2 by the window, please. If possible, near the Hamilton party. Yes, I added. Malik Hamilton. We're partners on a community project and would like to celebrate close by. The hostess paused, then said, Noted. We'll see you nearby. I hung up and closed my eyes, bracing for what was to come. Friday night arrived humid and bright, the city alive with the pulse of go-go beats echoing from passing cars. I slipped on a deep emerald dress, bold, striking, a color Malik once called too loud for dinner. I pulled my braids into a knot and slid on gold hoops, the ones my grandmother gave me when I graduated. When I entered the Griot, the maitre d' smiled. Dr. Carter, right this way. The window seat overlooked U Street's vibrant lights. I ordered a bourbon neat to steady my nerves. Andre arrived just after 8. Tall and broad-shouldered, his suit crisp, his smile uncertain. Dr. Carter? He asked. Andre, thank you for coming. We shook hands. He settled in, glancing at the menu. I asked about his work. He spoke with pride about mentoring Black youth in STEM. I listened, but my gaze kept flicking toward the entrance. At 8:17, Malik and Simone swept in, laughing. Malik wore the gray suit I bought him for his 40th. Simone's dress shimmered in the candlelight. They slid into a booth in my direct line of sight, their knees touching. Andre caught my distraction. You okay? He asked. I forced a smile. Just a long week. We ordered catfish, collard greens, mac and cheese. I watched Malik's hand brush Simone's as they shared dessert. Watched Simone lean in and whisper, her laugh soft and tinkling. The tension twisted in my gut, a knot of disbelief and anger. I excused myself, walking past their table toward the restroom. As I passed, Malik's eyes lifted, catching mine. He went still. Simone followed his gaze, her face draining of color. I kept moving. In the restroom, I breathed slowly, fixing my lipstick in the mirror. My phone buzzed. A text from Andre. Everything all right? I returned to the table. Andre looked up. You seem upset. Is there something I should know? He spoke gently, concern softening his words. The world slowed. Andre, I didn't invite you here to talk tech. He raised an eyebrow, waiting. Your wife is here, with my husband. They're on a date. The words spilled out, heavy and raw. Andre stared at me, uncomprehending. Simone? Here? I nodded, gesturing discreetly to their table. Andre's face changed, jaw tight, eyes sharp. He turned slowly, seeing them laughing softly in the glow of the lantern light. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then he exhaled, hands trembling. I never thought she would. God. We sat in silence. 2 strangers sharing a wound neither asked for. What do you want to do? He finally asked. Expose them. I shook my head. No scenes. I just want them to know. We know. That's all. We finished our meal in a tense, shared quiet. As dessert arrived, I stood. Andre followed. We walked over to Malik and Simone's table. Their laughter faded as we approached. Malik looked up, confusion turning to dread. "Bree," he stammered. Simone's eyes went wide, lips parted. I leaned down, voice low and even. "Enjoying dinner, Malik?" His hand tightened around his fork. "What are you doing here?" I ignored him, turning to Simone. "Lovely to finally meet you in person, Simone. I hear you love the view from this window." Simone swallowed, glancing at Andre. "Andre, please." He shook his head, pain etched deep. "Not here, Simone. Not now." For a long moment, the four of us were frozen, an uneasy tableau in the amber light. I placed a folded napkin on the table. "You both should talk," I said softly, my voice trembling but clear. "We're done here." Andre looked at Simone one last time, then turned away. Shoulders squared. I followed him out into the night air, my hands shaking. U Street's lights blurred as we stood together on the curb, breathless. Andre broke the silence. "Thank you for telling me. I'd rather know the ugly truth than live in the dark." I nodded, suddenly exhausted. "Me too." We exchanged numbers, unsure what else to do. He hailed a cab. I walked, the city swirling around me, each step feeling like a leap off a cliff. At home, Malik was waiting. Lights low, tie undone. He started as soon as I opened the door. "Bree, let me explain, please." His voice cracked, fear replacing the arrogance. "How long?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. 7 months, but it didn't mean anything." I laughed, a cold, sharp sound. "Didn't mean anything? You risked everything for nothing." He reached for me, but I stepped back. "I need space." I grabbed a duffel bag and headed for my sister's house in Silver Spring, leaving Malik alone in the dark. The next week was a blur of sleepless nights and whispered phone calls. Malik sent flowers, apologies, long emails full of promises and regret. Simone left Malik dozens of voicemails. I ignored them all. Andre texted once. "She moved out this morning. I still can't believe it." I replied, "Neither can I." At night, I lay on my sister's couch, watching ceiling shadows, replaying every moment with Malik. My world felt empty, but oddly clear, like after a hurricane sweeps through. After 3 days, I returned to the house to pack more things. Malik was gone. His side of the closet was empty. He'd left a note. "I'm sorry, Bree. I'll sign whatever you need. I just want you to be happy again." No explanations, no begging. I felt nothing, just a dull ache. My phone buzzed. A message from Andre. "Want to grab coffee?" I almost said no, but then I agreed. We met at Sanka Cafe, not far from campus. Andre was quiet, the weight of betrayal still fresh in his eyes. We spoke about everything but our spouses. Work, childhood, favorite jazz albums, the best food spots in the city. He made me laugh, something I hadn't done in weeks. The conversation was gentle, healing in small ways. When we parted, I realized I was lighter than before. Over the next few months, Malik tried to reconcile. Flowers, gifts, dinner invitations. I ignored every overture, blocking his number when the messages grew desperate. Simone moved back to Chicago, leaving the law firm quietly. Andre finalized the separation. I focused on my work, my students, my family. The house grew quieter, but I filled it with the music I loved. Old Nina Simone records, the ones Malik never understood. Andre and I kept in touch, sometimes meeting for walks in Meridian Hill Park or catching the poetry slam at Busboys and Poets. Our conversations grew deeper, confessional. We compared scars, shared stories of dreams lost, and new ones forming. We didn't rush anything. We just let the space between us fill with trust. The divorce finalized before Christmas. My lawyer was efficient, and Malik signed everything without protest. He moved to a condo in Shaw, threw himself into work. Occasionally, our paths crossed, at alumni events, mutual friends gatherings. He always looked older, more tired. I stopped feeling anything but relief. In spring, I moved to a new apartment on H Street, smaller but flooded with light. I filled it with plants, stacks of books, and framed photos of my family. Andre visited often, helping me assemble furniture, teaching me how to cook his mother's gumbo. One evening, after a day spent exploring the National Gallery, we sat on my balcony, the city lights glowing beneath us. He reached for my hand. No promises, just warmth. Summer brought a new rhythm: lectures, volunteer work, lazy Sundays. Andre and I traveled to New Orleans for a festival, dancing beneath live oaks, eating beignets at sunrise. There were no declarations, just two people learning to live again. I found myself smiling more, dreaming more. The wounds didn't vanish, but they stopped throbbing. A year passed. At Howard's homecoming gala, Malik approached me. He looked slimmer, his hair touched with gray. "You look happy, Bree," he said quietly. I nodded. "I am." He smiled, a shadow of regret flickering in his eyes. "I hope you find what you deserve." I thanked him and returned to my table, where Andre waited, laughing with my colleagues. As the music swelled, he held out his hand. I took it, stepping onto the dance floor, letting myself be carried by the moment. Later that night, as we walked home beneath the city's golden streetlights, Andre gently squeezed my hand. "You ever think about the future?" I looked at him, the man who had been a stranger the night everything changed, and smiled. I do now. For the first time in years, the world felt wide open, and I was ready to step into it. One foot, then the other, guided not by fear, but by hope. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a powerful story drop.